and welcome everyone to the Ginette Biro Podcast. I'm Ginette Biro, and as always, I am so grateful you guys are here taking the time to listen to the messages from the higher realms. And today's messages are really cool because, I know, honestly, I think every week's messages are cool, but this one was such a unique experience because it came from a past life regression of mine just the other day, and that's why I really wish to share this with you guys. But before I do want to invite you, if you're watching this on YouTube for the first time, do hit subscribe, because once I get to 500 subscribers, I will be giving away 2 free readings. So 2 free readings. And if you're listening to this on the podcast, do pop over to YouTube, hit subscribe, because again, that'll enter you in, and you guys might as well. 2 free readings. And in those readings, we can access all kinds of stuff for you, whatever it is, whatever it's meant to be that's pertinent to your journey. That's what will come up. So that being said, I had an amazing past life regression, and I've talked a little bit about past life regressions on the podcast before. And I'm really excited that this is something we are going to be offering on Avalon shortly. And do stay tuned, because this month, November, is the month in which we are going to be launching Avalon Spirit, the website, the platform, the access portal to consciousness. I am so excited. So stay tuned for that. So there will be offerings for past life regression available on Avalon. So that'll be coming soon. But I want to talk specifically about mine. And the reason why I want to talk about mine is because my council shared a message of understanding of consciousness and controversy that's happening right now. And they asked me specifically in this to share it on the podcast. And so here I am. This is what I'm doing, sharing the message. So in my past life regression, I really wanted to go to the place of where my council is, the place of where I can connect with those that I did when I had my NDE. And yes, I can do this technically in meditation, but to get to those depths of meditation takes a different kind of focus. And I was really intrigued to be able to be facilitated through this by my friend Tony, who is the regressionist. And it was phenomenal. It was a beautiful experience. And having someone facilitate you into that state allows you to almost take off one layer or one aspect of having to do, right? It kind of allows you to surrender that much more because you're being guided into it, which is what was just so beautiful. And so when I got there and I met with my council, it was again that same council that I met with when I had my NDE. And when I walked into the room where they were, we all started laughing. And we started laughing not because it was inherently funny, but it was like, you know those times when you have so much joy, you feel so much joy, you cry? And you're not crying because you're sad, but you're overwhelmed with joy. And so when I met with them again, it was like being overwhelmed with joy that it came out as laughter. And we all just started to laugh. And it was this like embrace of laughter and bliss. Honestly, it really was. And it was so beautiful. And so we kind of, did our introductions again, and I was so happy to be there. And then they came down right away and they said, okay, we want to talk to you about controversy. And right away I was like, oh gosh, controversy. Like what? Personal controversy? Planetary controversy? And they said, the controversy on the planet within humanity. The controversy that we are seeing and the controversy we're going to continue to see. And I said, okay, so we're going to continue to see this. What does it look like? And they said, this is what you need to share, is the concept versus the specifics. Because the specifics are going to occur in many different ways and affect people on many different levels. So it's hard to pinpoint exactly what those are and how they affect everyone, right? We have multiple levels of things happening. But they said, the desire is that through controversy, we are returning to what they called a harmonious reunion of self and the soul. And they brought me through they helped teach me through the concepts of the wisdoms of the forest and the garden. And they referred to the garden as the Garden of Eden, which they said is inherently planet Earth, Planet Earth, Gaia, is the Garden of Eden. And so what they did is they showed me when you are retilling and reworking garden soil, right? Oftentimes what you'll do is you'll take shovels full of the dirt and rocks and you'll throw it in like a big sifter. I watched my mom do this for years. And you'll sift through, and the beautiful soil that's nutrient rich will drop back into the garden, and the rocks that you don't want in your garden will start to show themselves, because as you shake it, as you shake the foundations that are there in those solid chunks of soil, you'll shake away the nutrient dense soil, which will fall back into the garden, and as it does that, the different rocks will start to expose themselves. And to us, it looks like a surfacing of rocks, but really what it is it's a shaking away of it hiding to be exposed. And so they said the rocks are really showing themselves as the aspects of controversy. Some are going to be the smaller ones that come to the surface first. And then as you keep shaking it, you're going to start to see the unveiling of the bigger rocks at the bottom. Now, they said if we focus on controversy as our main source of energy, if that's where all of our energy is going, we're missing out on the fact that the soil is being dropped back into the garden where there's been space made for proper growth. So these rocks again are being shown like they are right now. A lot of rocks, so to speak, of controversy are being exposed through the shaking of our foundations. But it's purposeful because we can throw those rocks to where they are better suited, right? Whether it be another dimension, another place, a place of relearning, whatever that may be, they're being relocated somewhere else. And then what we have left is we have this beautiful garden soil. And the reason why they're taking out the rocks is because the rocks, they said, get in the way of the roots meeting and communing together underneath like they do in our forests. And they compared this to, if you guys have ever read the books, what's it called? Secret Life of Forests, Secret Life of Trees and stuff, right? It talks about the interconnected web between all the roots of trees in the forests. And when there are so many rocks that are in the way, it's harder for the roots to connect and combine together to work in harmony, right? But when they take out some of the rocks, and although roots can grow around different rocks, but when we take out the rocks, we have free-flowing access to creating harmony, creating compassion in union, and working as a greater collective, which is what is wanted on this planet, right? And so they said, look to the wisdom of the forests. The forests have this absolute intricate network of communication, harmony, sharing. They even said how like one tree will, if there's a tree near it within its family suffering, one tree will take in less water so that the other one can absorb more water and nutrients, right? Like they will work together. And same goes for the mycelium of all the mushrooms in the forests, right? The intricate web of mycelium under the earth connects everything, right? And so removing these rocks helps give way for creating greater union and harmony. So surfacing the stuff that's happening in our world right now that we're seeing, and some of it is just horrible and horrific. Some of it is making us question everything, which is the shaking of our foundation. It's making us question the foundation of what we knew and what we thought was right, what we thought was the way it should be. All these constructs are being shaken to take out the rocks because we don't want the rocks in this garden. We want soil for movement and compassion and growth and harmony and fruitfulness to create a beautiful bounty when we harvest. Which is why Spirit has been talking, they're reminding me right now, which is why they've been talking about what is it that you harvested this year? Are you happy with what you harvested? Now what seeds do you want to plant for next year? So again, this month, November, we're going to be seeing such an increase of surfacing of these rocks, more revealing of these rocks. But they're saying, please be conscious of if you're focusing 100% on the rocks in fear, in anxiety and worry, then you're missing the point of what these rocks surfacing mean. It means the beautiful soil and space for that soil has fallen back into the garden to be replanted. That is the benefit, and that's the beauty of it. And so with this, they said in November, we're going to notice that a lot of messages and information, and I've been noticing this a lot in the last, say, week or so, a lot of the messages are going to be coming in with paired polarities. Paired polarity. And these paired polarities is, if we take this rock again, for example, there's a surfacing of a rock. And that aspect of the polarity might be disturbing, might be fear-inducing, might be challenging to accept, even observe or acknowledge. But it comes with a paired energy that is so available to us if we want it, which is the oppositional energy of that polarity. So if something induces fear, it's also going to come with a lesson, an understanding, a release, a transmutation of, say, peace or harmony or safety. Right? Just as you're aware of something, then you can choose what you're going to do with it. And there's such an emphasis of energy that is going to show up with every rock, is going to show up with a space and a held energy of the opposite for us to fill with what we choose. Right? You know how sometimes our lessons seem like it's like a lesson after lesson after lesson, and we're wondering, like, when does the good come? What they're saying is just right now, though, we're going to have that good come with the bad. Right? We're going to bring the light and the dark at the same time. So you have to have your vegetables and your candy, right? This is a beautiful gift, because when we recognize that that is what's happening, we don't have to be, again, taken down by the fear of what's happening on our planet, by the worry, by the stressors, by any of that kind of stuff. And so there's lessons in all of it. So the more, again, you can recognize what triggers you, this dark rock piece, whatever it is in that triggers you, find the opposite polarity of it. And that opposite polarity of it is going to give you more peace and harmony as you move forward. Plus, it's going to help you to transmute the energies that no longer apply. Because the whole month of fall, the whole season of fall in itself is about releasing the things that no longer apply. Things that have, lived the amount of life they were meant to live in your life, and now it's time to let them go to make space for new. That's why all of this stuff is coming to a head in an explosion now, even the election, and I'm very cautious to even touch on that, but all of this is happening in the fall of 2020, stepping into November here as we approach December. Honestly, you guys, this is all divine in its timing. It's happening under the sign of Scorpio right now. Like, Scorpio is a powerful sign with the moon in Taurus. Like, these are change-making signs. These are balancing polarity signs. These are oppositions and intensities with purpose. And if we look back into any kind of ancient astrology, ancient stories, ancient changes of time in the great ages, all of those happened at certain times within the star systems and the alignments, because the energetics of the cosmos has an effect on our planet, has an effect on how humanity acts as a whole, and has an effect on when great moments of change can come into to be. And that's where we're at right now, you guys. This is heightened change time. It is here now. Like they said in a podcast, do you remember, guys, a few weeks ago, when I said I had that dream that the changes were here now? It was here now. It is here now. Like, it actually is here now, and that in itself is very exciting, because we're not simply waiting for, it is occurring. And that is movement, that allows conscious choice, and that allows for better, brighter, higher vibrational access, love, and embodiment. That's exactly what we want. So it's here, it's happening, embrace it, choose consciously in the directions you're going, because again, as always, your ripple effects have a great impact on the things around you. So choose with your heart, choose with care. If you mess up, then you messed up, but do better next time. Make a better choice because of the lesson you learned. Self-compassion is so important right now as we see all of this sifting of soil and replanting of this beautiful Garden of Eden that we live in on this planet. This is it. This is the Garden of Eden. So I'll leave that thought with you guys. I hope you all had a wonderful Halloween weekend. I know we sure did. It was simple, it was different, but it was a lot of fun. And stay tuned for some more really exciting Avalon stuff coming down the pipe here soon. So I wish you guys well, and happy November.